Hi guys, welcome back to AI with MJ. In this series, I'm working through NeetCode 250 problems and also doing their interview variants and trying to do step by step like in an interview. And today's problem is gonna be pasted here shortly, and then I'll start my timer for 15 minutes. I will do like a brute force approach and then optimizations and talk about trade-offs and also do a dry run at the end. All right. So the question is this. Let me set my timer for 15 minutes. All right. So we are given an integer array nums. Return true if any value appears at least twice in the array, and return false if every element is distinct. Okay. So for example, here if we're given numbers, then it's 1, 1. Okay. Few questions I would ask would be um input array nums or any other characters as well. But this situation we'll assume it's only numerical numbers. So like maybe 0 to 199. On top of that, if that was range wasn't given, then it would be positive or negative numbers. Like let's say 10 to the power of 5 actually. Positive or negative numbers. For this case, it's from 0, so positive. One thing could be empty array. In this case, we can just return -1. So if nums is equal to empty, output would be -1. What if we have like only one element in the array? So if it's just this, what do we return? Um, for this, it's false because like we can assume and also there is no other element that is similar to it. Okay. And any other question that I should ask would be um probably nothing else, right? Like just have to find if there is any duplicate numbers or not. Yeah. So brute force could be if we have nums here, we can have a I pointer and then a J pointer here, and then do like two for loops for I and J, and then if any number at I equals J, we return true. So for example, in this case, I would be at 0, and then it's not um, the same number. Then we move forward and forward, and now when it will be same, we'll return uh, true. For this solution, the time complexity would be O of n square because we're going over the entire array, and space would be O of 1. There are better approaches. So we could do like maybe a hash set because that will be like O of 1 lookup as well every time we go to a number. So go over numbers and add them to the hash set. Them to the hash before adding, check if the number already exists in the set. Hash set. If it does, just return true, otherwise return false. Here the time would be O of n because we are going only once over the array, and space would be O of n because worst case scenario, all the numbers in like numbers would be stored in the hash set. Um, if suppose we have to do this over like linears, like only O of one space, no additional space, there could be one option to like sort numbers, so nums dot sort, and then now this would become 1 1 2 3 and 1, and we can do like a two pointer approach where I could be here, J could be here. If any of the previous number equals, then we return true, otherwise return false. Yeah, I think those are the three solution that comes to mind right now. And if my interviewer asks me to code this up, I'm just gonna code this one up for now. So we can do define duplicate numbers, and this is gonna take nums where list of integers, and the output is Boolean um from typing import list. Okay, so for let's do hash set first. Hash set just be set, and then for number in nums, add this number. So hash set dot add number. Check if the number in hash set, then return true. Otherwise, there is no similar one, so we'll just at the end return false. Okay, and I can do like a quick dry run. Dry run. So let's say our nums was 15621 6. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask if like five one duplicate or multiple. In this, it could be multiple, and we have to return like anytime on the first encounter, return true. On the first one, return true. Okay, and let's say this is our set, and we will go over. So if our number, we are going through the for loop, the number equals 1. We'll check if the number is in hash set. No, so we will just add this number. So we added 5, and then our number becomes 5. We come out of the for loop. 5, we'll check again if the number is in hash set. No, so we add that, and then we do 6, and then we will check again. This does not exist yet, so we add it, and then our number becomes 2. Is 2 in the hash set? No, so we do 2 here, and then we are at 1. Now we'll check if the 1 is in hash set. It is, so we just immediately return true. This line would not execute, and we come out. Let me just run this code quickly on Leetcode. Yeah, it works perfectly. In case we had to, if we had to return like indices, instead of just Boolean, return indices of the element of the duplicates, then we might, this could be an interview variant where um what we'll have to do is we have to use hash map to store the indices along with the number and then return indices. So let me just do that as well. Okay, hash map. Here the output would be and let's say they say like list of integers. Let's say we have to return like 0, 3 for the input. Hash map is you could just use default deck so we don't have to deal with like keys that are not present in it. Um, and then if number in hash map, and we have to do for I in range len of nums because we need to store the index. And actually, which should be for index number in enumerate because we need to access that nums. If number, okay, and for the hash map, we can store it like, let's say in this example, 1 is at index 0, then 5 is at index 1, so we'll just return it. Okay, in hash map, we have to return hash map at that number because that is the index, and then our current index. Um, Order of this index does not matter, so we could just return it like that. That is I. And here this would be hash map of number at index I. Okay, and if nothing, just return 1. Also in this one, I forgot to add if len of nums equals 0, then return -1, as we mentioned in here. Yeah, that is the same, and that should be the answer. Okay. And if suppose we only have to return the first one, but if we did have to return like multiple, then this logic we will continue and we would not just return it. We'll keep appending to the answer. So we'll have to have like an answer here and then keep on appending. But I'm not implementing it in this one. But yeah, that would be all. Thanks for watching.